Hey everyone, today is Saturday, September 18th. The time right now is 4:50 p.m. and the temperature is around 24 degrees Celsius. I'm here on the Pape Avenue Bridge. And there's a rather expansive look at the downtown skyline. Almost directly into the sun. And for this one, I'll be heading over to the south side of the bridge and going for a walk around the Gerrard Square shopping center, which is just to the east right there. Then I'll head out of the shopping center and I think I'll walk east along Gerrard over to the Little India neighborhood. I guess I should point out the reason for this bridge is to go over top these rail tracks here. So Pape Avenue is pedestrian only for this little stretch, although it does resume just to the south of here. And the neighborhood around here has become quite popular in recent years. So we'll go for a walk along that stretch that has gentrified quite a bit. Gentrified. My left foot feels a bit swollen. It felt like a bee or something had landed on it, as I ended up with a sharp stinging sensation. Now it seems to be swelling up a bit. And that happened just as I was walking here on Pape. It's not something I can ever say has happened before. I was just walking and felt a bit of a painful sting and brushed whatever was on my lip off, and that was that. I didn't get a glimpse of it. And this is an odd sight. There's a lot of what looks to be children's clothing right there. And there's the parking lot to Gerrard Square. But I'm going to head down to Pape. Sorry, to Gerrard Street East. Rather, I am on Pape. And we'll walk into the mall from that way. And I can't recall having been to this mall. I had assumed I had been there at some point, but I don't think I ever have. It's a small mall. It's one of 18 regional malls in the city of Toronto. And there are 5 major malls. And this here is Gerrard Street East. And to the west of here is the East Chinatown neighborhood. And there is the Maple Leaf Tavern. It's one of the oldest bars in the city, and I think it goes back to 1910. And there goes a 506 Carlton streetcar. And that is what I took to get over here. I boarded that at College Station, although there was a bit of a delay as a protest was blocking Yonge Street. Okay, let's head up into the mall. I think it's anchored by a Food Basics grocery store. And there's a No Frills grocery store just on the other side of that bridge where I started. Those are both discount grocery stores. And I think there's a Home Depot and a Winners in here. All right, I should slide my mask on. There we go.
Is that what you do? So where you at now?
No problem. So it's quite a small mall. It should only take a few minutes to walk through here. I think it's 2 levels. Oh, and I forgot to mention, it's anchored by a Walmart. How did I miss that? That's the main one. I'm not sure which is closer to downtown, this Walmart or the one at Dufferin Mall.
Maybe.
But Dufferin Mall is on the west side. And there's a food court just over here, and that is it for the ground floor here. And it looks like there's an exit out that way. There's an EB Games. A bubble tea shop. Tropical Joe's, a Subway, a burrito shop, a KFC, Asian Gourmet, and La Greca. Escalator, you stay to the right, no passing. That's bizarre. And there's a Staples up here. And Absolute Dollar. I have never heard of this one before. Usually it's Dollarama or a buck or two. There's a Beddington's. There's one of these at Yonge and Eglinton, or at least there was. I think that one recently shut down. Service Canada. I'm not sure what function that serves. I know Service Ontario deals with a lot of licensing and getting your health card and driver's license sorted and that sort of thing. There's an employment center. Oh, so it's quite a bit bigger up here than downstairs. And a Winners. That's pretty much a Marshall's. Some out-of-service toys for the kids. Toys, I guess rides would be a better word. So even though it's a small mall, they certainly have a fair number of major players here, especially with the Walmart. And there's a Planet Fitness. Exit only. Let's see if I can find my way to the street coming out this way. guessing Gerrard is that way. Here's the first time walking around a parking garage. And we found the Home Depot. All right, mask comes off. So this is the north end of the Leslieville neighborhood. So I'm guessing, given that it's a Saturday, that's as busy as the mall will get. Seemed all right. I'm not really a mall person, but I think this mall doesn't have the best reputation. That didn't seem so bad. And I don't think this plaza here is part of the mall. They've got a very neat outdoor patio area. It's an Asian restaurant and a pizza restaurant. And I think this is some kind of bar. There's someone serving a drink. Speaking of which, I'm on my way to a bar after this. So this is the area that has gentrified quite a bit in recent years.
Oh my God.
And I was here quite recently, pushing my bike with a flat tire along Gerrard Street. I was doing a live stream and I got a flat not too far from here. Storytellers, come inside. Storytellers lager, that is. These places have started popping up everywhere. There's still some spillover from East Chinatown here. And this is Jones Avenue. I've done a few videos along here. To the north, at Danforth Avenue, is the eastern end of Greektown. And I think this is Riverdale Collegiate. It's an old school that dates back to the early 1900s. There's a former home of Pizza Pizza. You don't see those places go under too often. So I think this is the original structure here on the right. It was expanded and renovated quite heavily in the 90s. And I couldn't really find any information on that mall I just went through online in terms of how old it was or how big it was. Granted, it was a rather half-assed search. But still, you sometimes expect that sort of thing to at least have its own wiki page. There goes the 506 Carlton. I didn't read the sign on the front of that, but I think it's going all the way to Dundas West Station. Normally they would go to High Park Station, or the High Park Loop, rather, but there's some construction and they're being diverted. It is not a very frequent streetcar, however. It's not uncommon to have a 20-minute wait. Although it is 24 hours. Well, it becomes the 306 at night, with some minor changes to the route. Real foods for pets. A bougie pet shop, or a pet food store. So the next few blocks are kind of like this, mostly residential. But I think once I get to Greenwood, Little India will begin, or the Gerrard India Bazaar. Of course, they talk about how infrequent the streetcar is, and within minutes another one appears. I guess with today being a Saturday and downtown being quite busy, that might have been the logical place to go film. But I did a 2-hour walk around downtown yesterday, so I just kind of wanted to mix it up. Is there a hold up here? The streetcar isn't moving, and I don't see any flashing signs at that crosswalk. I say that just as they start to flash. Oh, it is going to High Park. So we are on the city's east end, east of downtown, and High Park is to the west of downtown. I think it's the second longest streetcar route after Queen. It goes east here to Main Street Station, or it might just be called Main Station. And for some reason it's called the 506 Carlton, even though I think the stretch along Gerrard and College are both much longer. I did not see an earpiece there, so who is he talking to? We've got some Liberal supporters here. Monday is voting day. There's an NDP sign. I would guess this area is either red or orange. Orange being the NDP party, red being the Liberal Party, and blue being the Conservatives. There are a few other parties, but they're for the most part irrelevant. Okay, and we're at Greenwood Avenue. And it's a third streetcar. I hope they keep rolling this frequently when I'm waiting for one to head back west. And Greenwood here, fortunately, has a bike lane. I'm soon to be entering Little India. I think I remember reading it's the 7th largest South Asian marketplace in North America. Although Toronto has a substantial South Asian population, I think it's a bit larger in some of the suburban areas. This temple is closed until further notice. I think that's a Buddhist temple. I'm not entirely sure. He seemed to take an unusual interest in my camera. Sometimes it's people who recognize me and they tell me later, "Oh, I thought that was you." I wanted to turn around and get a look at that patio. But I also didn't want that guy to think I was turning around to get a look at him with the camera. There's Dubai Meat Shop. So this area is primarily serving the Indian, Pakistani, Bangladeshi, Nepali and Sri Lankan communities. And I apologize if I got any of that incorrect. And they hold a big festival here every year. Except for this and the one prior to this year. 2 years ago, I was walking through here recording a video back before I narrated them, and I saw John Tory giving a speech at the festival. He's the mayor of Toronto. And there is the Lahore Tikka House. It's a very popular Pakistani restaurant in this neighborhood. I've been there several times. I've always wondered what's the story behind the two Desi burgers here. Hey Mom, pick me up some Desi burger. Aw, you got the wrong one. There's got to be a story behind that. Maybe it was spite? I'd like to think it was spite. Ooh. And it seems like I'm on the least shaded side of the street. I look on the south side there and all I see are these nice trees. Over here I get the sun bouncing off concrete. Gerrard India Bazaar Business Improvement Area.
I really wish you just saw her. Did you hear her talk? No.
There's a rather colorful clothing shop. Let's see if I can sneak over to the other side here. But maybe this isn't the best timing. Oh, that Tesla's letting us cross. Nice of them. And this place used to be a movie theater, one of the first Bollywood cinemas in Toronto. That was short-lived, and it's since been kind of hideously renovated into apartments. Looks like a public library. So I think this area was established back in the early 70s. So it's on a similar time frame as East Chinatown. And I remember coming through here during the height of the pandemic and feeling like the place was just completely deserted. So it's nice to see some life back to it. It's really the kind of neighborhood that I could walk once in either direction on both sides of the street. Two-headed dog. Hey, Toronto is up 4-2. They were losing when I left. And there's a local artist who painted the outside of that store. His name is Al Rent. And coming up is Coxwell Avenue, which is pretty much the eastern end of Little India, along with the Leslieville neighborhood. And this is where this section of Gerrard Street ends. It goes by a different name on the other side of the intersection, and then just to the north of here, Gerrard Street reappears on the right side of Coxwell. So this is south on Coxwell. And it's good to see this place back open. It is the Godspeed Brewery. And their food is quite neat. It's kind of like a Japanese tapas style.
That's a whole different story, but I mean, yeah.
All right, so I'm going to get to the north side of the street here. And I'll take a peek at how long it'll be till the next streetcar comes. There goes. Gerrard Street continues 1 block north of here. Oh, I see a streetcar coming right now. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this walk around the Gerrard Square shopping center. I gotta find my mask. There it is. Along Gerrard through Little India. That one's busy. And now on to the streetcar. If you wish to support the channel, there are links to my Patreon and YouTube channel membership in the description. And I have an Instagram account. All right, thanks for watching, and I will catch you on the next one.
Next stop, Ashdale Avenue.